Okay, Syrax is messing with Maeve, and if there's one thing I've learned through watching all the episodes of Westworld, you don't mess with Maeve. I really like this episode. I don't know if I liked it better than the first episode. I'd say they're pretty even. I like them for different reasons, which is interesting because usually I can rank episodes right off the bat. 2 episodes into a season, I can go, okay, this season I rank it up here, this season is down here so far, but these two are pretty even, and honestly, I couldn't tell you which one I liked better. And I do like the focus of Dolores in episode 1 and Maeve in episode 2. I, for a while, had a hard time telling if Maeve and Hector or Isabella in Atori or something like this, that were actually self-aware anymore. And I kept going back and forth of, oh, okay, Maeve knows. Oh, okay, Hector also knows. Oh, wait, no. They both don't. And it wasn't until on the plane when he called her Isabella that I realized, okay, Maeve is aware, Hector is not, and that's super fucked. Speaking of super fucked, the fact that she just took the gun to her head and blew her own brains out because she's like, all right, done with this. Time to reset. I want to be back in the lab. Also super fucked up that once she realized she didn't have control anymore and that she was just going to be kept in these games, in these worlds over and over again, she was willing to take the drill up her nose and be like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be in this endless loop and controlled for other people's enjoyment. And it wasn't until Lee popped in that she stopped and thought, okay, maybe there's a chance. And then, of course, they learn that they are in a simulation, but not a great simulation. And I talked about this in my live chat. By the way, I do live chats right after the episode every Sunday. About 10:15, 10:20 Eastern time, depending on when the episode ends. I talked about it, how a lot of their parks, they have at least 6 parks. And we saw their Park 4, which is the medieval park. We also saw Warworld. We know they have Westworld, Western World. They also have the Samurai World. There are a few more we haven't seen, at least. There's at least 6 that we know of from their numbering. There could be more, but those are physically created parks. So far, we're not seeing a lot of simulations. We saw one, of course, in episode 1 with Dolores tricking the guy into thinking that it was reality, and we saw a simulation with Maeve and then Lee, who actually did die. Of course, we saw him shot a bunch, so it's not surprising. I was kind of hoping against hope that he hadn't died, but I guess that didn't happen. I have a feeling this is the last time we're probably going to see Lee. He just had a jump into this episode, and that's it. He's gone. But if you notice, the simulations aren't that great, and they're able to overload them, which makes me wonder, and going back to my live chat, I was talking about this, doing more complex stuff like Superhero World, where you would be defying physics, you'd have to do a simulation of that. Or if you were exploring space on a starship, you would Star Trek, Star Wars world, whatever. They don't quite have that technology yet, and they can't do it with the simulation because apparently the simulations aren't that great yet. So that was a bit surprising, and it's interesting to see because we know the world is where we're at present time, where Dolores is out in the world and now Maeve is 2058. So simulation technology isn't that great. It's certainly more advanced than what we have now, but it's not super amazing, and they're still doing the physical parks they need to do that. Which I guess should have been very obvious, because if they could do simulations, people would probably do that more so, because it would be less expensive than constantly repairing the house and bathing off all their blood and all that. Simulation, you just reset, you can do anything. There you go. Especially since in the simulation you could just make it run faster than the real world too. So you could get even more time in there, which some people would probably really enjoy, especially people that perhaps had a terminal diagnosis, and now I get to spend even more time being alive. So Maeve finally gets out because she takes control of the service robot where they're doing the simulation, and the robot gets shot to shit. And I am curious whether Maeve knew she wanted to get their attention of, hey, I'm going to keep trying to get out of this simulation, so you need to do something with me. And she didn't really care what it was, either set me free or just end my misery from here on out, because I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to be in this game. I want to have my own free will. So I kind of wonder what her overall plan was, and if she didn't care which way it went. It was just I can't live in this fabricated world anymore, and I'm going to keep trying to escape. So you make a decision what you want to do with me. Set me free or kill me, which is, I guess, setting her free in a way. I don't know what it is about Sarek's actor. There's something just magnetizing about him. It's pretty crazy. And I liked his whole speech about how humans are histories of raving lunatics and we're just a nightmare species. And because of his program, because of what he developed, he's shaping the future and making it a better place. Which sounds great. Okay, we have this guy who has this algorithm and he's helping humanity be more peaceful. But the world we see, even Caleb's character said, this world is rotting and we have this pretty paint of coat on top of it. So is this guy a dictator? Is he taking away the free will of humans? Is he forcing people down a certain path? And is that better? There are pretty strong arguments either way for free will versus humans are just absolute garbage and they need to be corralled like cattle down a certain pathway. Otherwise, they're just going to keep murdering and raping and just destroying the planet and being absolutely terrible. I get both arguments. I've heard both arguments. It's really up to you what you decide on that. Regardless of what you decide on that, you probably won't have any impact either way, because you're probably not in control. But we think we are. But then I wonder if Dolores is not doing the same thing, that Sarek and her are two sides of the same coin, and that they both want to control humans in their own way. I'd be interested to see whether Dolores wants to enslave or eliminate. I still think she's going more towards destroying those in power and that are pulling the strings and setting everyone free, AI and humans that don't necessarily have the power to have control over their lives. But I could be surprised. This is Westworld. Who knows what direction it's going to go in. I am afraid for Sarek's though. So he is controlling Maeve. He has the button. He's able to freeze all motor functions and all that. And you could see the look on Maeve's face of devastation. Fuck this. I'm right back to being controlled by humans. And Maeve is the opposite of Dolores in a lot of ways, and Maeve doesn't want to eliminate or control humans. She just wants to be free. She just wanted to be with her daughter. And now that she's controlled again by humans, is that going to turn her against humans? Is she finally going to go, you know, fuck it. I keep trying to be free, that's all I want, and you guys keep controlling me and abusing me, and maybe it is time for you to end. And I would be terrified, no matter how smart I thought I was, that because Maeve is an AI and she is able to deconstruct and reprogram things made by lazy, clumsy, stupid humans, her words, more or less, that she would be able to take control of his device or rework it. Now, maybe, of course, he's already thought that through since he has a program that apparently thinks all these things through, even though Maeve and Dolores were a divergence in something they couldn't plan. But I don't know, if I was that dude, I would be really worried that Maeve is gonna fuck me up. I would also be interested to see if he's just trying to get Maeve close enough to Dolores to infect her, just like we saw in season 2, where Host ended up having a disease and infected hosts as she got near them. Maybe it's the same thing. We don't know exactly what he did to Maeve while she was sleeping. Maeve and Dolores teaming up, though, would be absolutely terrifying. I feel like if they teamed up, the world would be doomed. Bernard and Stubbs was very cute. I'm happy that Bernard came back trying to find Maeve because he realized he needed her. I feel really bad for Stubbs being like, hey, you know, you were programmed for thinking and all of this. I just want to do my mission and then retire, blow my brains out. And how he just kept I can't wait till I retire. It's like, dude, you're talking about ending your existence. But oh, I finished my programming. Also very, very cute when Bernard programmed him to have the purpose of protecting him, and then Stubbs goes, if you wanted my help, that's all you had to do was ask. Kind of cute. I liked it. I really like, I think, Ashley more this season than I have the other seasons, to be honest with you. I think I like him so far, just seeing one episode into season 3. Though, do you wonder if Bernard and Stubbs are going to meet up with Maeve and maybe join up with Syrax to take down Dolores? Because that's starting to even the odds quite a bit, because right now Dolores is pretty unstoppable. But if you have, I feel like Maeve, Bernard, Stubbs, and then with Syrax power or resources, they stand a good chance of taking Dolores down. By the way, I really wish we could have seen more medieval world. I'm gonna mention this, I really didn't give a shit about their cameo. The showrunners for Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, did a cameo. They were technicians, and they were in a room with a dragon. Don't really fucking care. If you thought it was cool, that's fine. You can find whatever you want to be fucking cool. It's not that big of a deal, but I didn't like it, and I thought it was pretty fucking stupid, and they can go fuck themselves.